guys, how are you? This is our first interview ever with the local music blog in San Diego with Jesusdapnk. Hi Jesus, how are you?
Pretty good. Just here, relaxing, drinking my beer, and I like to welcome you guys to my studio. This is where I work on all my projects, come chill, whatever, hang out, and honestly, it's my place of solitude and sanctuary.
This is a location where you guys have multiple collaborations, correct?
This studio exactly, I share it with 4 other like-minded musicians. People who are just, they want to be committed into the music industry, who are as devoted, pretty much the same ideology as me, that they want to come here to work and be able to express themselves with music. And it's cool to have good partners to be able to share this space with.
What was your inspiration to get into music?
Well, my inspiration, I'll say I've always been in playing drums. I started since I was around 9-10 years old. Very motivated, just something to be able to relieve stress at that age. My parents would always introduce me to really good music. My dad especially, he was always collecting records. Every weekend, he'd always go to the swap meet and bring us along and buy disco records.
Jesus, how many albums do you have?
I have a lot of EPs. As for a legit, maybe 12-track album, I'm working on a lot of tracks right now, but I would say a lot of releases, maybe 20 something. And it's cool because I started almost 10 years ago, and I maintain these connections, and these guys are all growing stronger and stronger, with their labels. And it's kind of cool to be able to grow with them as well, because you start with them at where they're beginning, and then they become so big that it's gonna get bigger and bigger later on.
Before we get into your album, tell us more about your experience with European music.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't particularly say European music. I just think specifically for that album, to be honest, when I got started on it, it was just a jam sesh. I was just with the keyboard, seeing where things go, just jamming, and eventually it led to something kind of jazzy. And I'm a big fan of a lot of genres. I'm a big fan of hip hop, jazz, disco, all this. So I try to combine everything at once, and just let things flow.
Do you want to tell us what your Spotify credentials are, so people listen to your music, or your link, or do you want to share your?
It's just honestly, for all my music, social media, it's just my name, Jesusdapnk, and you just look that up. And
What's the name of the album? Do you want to share with us?
It's Caminando y Bailando. I didn't want to have expectations, because if you have expectations, it's good to have a goal, but if you have expectations of something and it doesn't happen, it might tear you down completely, because you're going to be so down about it. A lot of people that you work with in music, they tell you so much promises. Things don't come true all the time. And when you're expecting those things, you're just like, well, man, you feel kind of down. Because for me, for example, I had a lot of shows promised, a lot of things when I was starting out, and I was putting my extra effort, and things didn't happen. But it's good to stay positive and not just be expected and depending on things. It's good to just jam and see where things go. Sending demos out, sending demos to the labels that you think are going to be your sound. Not just your sound, people that are going to like your sound.
Don't forget to follow us on our social media is at The Local Music Blog on Instagram and at Jesusdapnk for Jesus.
Everything.
For everything,
Pretty
basically.
much.
Let's do it.
All right.
Ready?
Let's do it. I'm
Okay.
done.
Woo, let's go.
So when I usually get started on music, I always title my shit so that way I don't get confused. And I kind of already have a bass. I like having really jazzy sounding basses, especially right now with the stuff I'm fucking with. Very loungy stuff, but same time can be jacking, which I love. It's recording. We got that loop that we want. right, so we got the kick drum there. Might be cool.